But apparently a lot of people do that. But anyway, the sort of post extended break return session, I don't think is ever going to have like the chutzpah and energy is never going to be there quite the same, because it's been a while and you need to like get your shit back together and like reacquaint and like remember what's going on, maybe remember what your character does mechanically depending on the kind of player you are or how much you've played that particular system, which in the case of Lancer, I have a feeling that's a big factor is like remembering how the fuck that game even works. You know, like that, I feel like the energy is gonna be a little different on the comeback game no matter what. I don't think you can, unless you manage to land the story on such a fucking like big dick, big brain cliffhanger that the session everyone comes back, they just like, I need to fucking know what's gonna happen next. Like, unless you nailed that cliffhanger flawlessly, which I feel like is really hard to do tabletop wise, like you could do cliffhangers obviously, but I feel like they're never quite as good as you want them to be. You know what I mean? Like they always are just a little short of as good as you want.
No, I mean, hard agree. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Like you could do it, but by the nature of how the games work, it's impossible to perfectly nail it because it's just there's too many factors out of your control to be able to hit it perfectly like that. But yeah, so because of that, I just don't think the coming back session's ever going to have that amount of chutzpah. I mean, even we both just did a comeback session in the same week, I mean. And, you know, I don't feel like our Fabulous session was like crazy exciting or anything either. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
you're right.
There was a desire to come back and play, but it wasn't like the session itself was popping off or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And like, you know, I'm aware that for both of us, it is also sort of the nature of the session. If we dropped back into combat, I'm sure things would have gotten a little more high energy, a little more quickly. But it just so happens that both of us are in like a weird transitory state where we're going into the next thing.
I don't even know that I would bank on jumping straight back into combat would work either, to be honest, because I think there would be a lot of, how do I play this? What do I want to do? What's my best strat? Hold on, I got to think about this kind of vibe if you went straight back into some sort of combat scenario. So I don't even know if that would 100% solve the issue. You know what I'm saying?
Potentially.
But yeah, so there's that factor. But it also sounds like narratively, and now if I'm remembering correctly, I guess I should maybe just clarify. The like narrative beat thing that happened was big scary enemy super weapon showed up out of nowhere. The Empire revealed their Death Star, blew up the planet, and everyone was like, holy fuck, and they weren't prepared, right? That was kind of the thing that happened.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, like, from a narrative standpoint, we are, you know, effectively on...
Not in Kansas anymore.
kind of. Well, we're Return of the Jedi right now, right?
Yeah.
Like, which, hilariously, I'm now blanking on how Return of the Jedi starts?
Jabba's palace.
It is Jabba's palace. Yeah, okay. So yeah, we're Return of the Jedi, right? Like Han's in carbonite, Leia's captured, the rebellion is all fucked, like shit's in a bad way. So the return has an element of we need to like reset the energy, so the beginning is going to be a little quieter no matter what. Now, you know, depending on your execution, like, or depending on what you want to do, you could potentially be like, all right, everything's bad, and now we're going to jump into some more crazy shit. But if you do that, you risk sort of, you know, like emotional exhaustion. So, yeah. Pros and cons. It's funny because I just watched the first 2 episodes of JJK season 3 this morning, and JJK season 3 starts basically like shit just went down and shit is still going. And you're like, oh, okay, we're still doing this. All right. Yep. All right. We're back in. Like it almost doesn't give you a lot of breathing room at the start of season 3. Like the whole culling game thing is just like, we're doing this. And you're like, okay, I guess we're doing this. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, it is a bit of an emotional roller coaster. That is true.
Yeah. So like there's an element of like, oh, this is a lot. I'm tired.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're on you're kind of going with, you're at the action has fallen. What is it? Rising action climate. You're at the, what's it called?
Falling action.
The part of no, because the falling action's after the climax, which is not what you've done yet.
Well, that was intended to be the climax, not of the game, but of the arc.
Of the arc, I guess. But no, there's I forget what they call it, but there's that time period where the main character like has lost or something has gone poorly and now they're at their lowest point, like that like valley of, oh, we're so fucked, everything's fucked vibe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Again, actually using JJK, where Yuji's at in the start of season 3, right? Like he killed a bunch of people, kind of, sort of. He sort of killed a bunch of not really his fault, but that's a whole other thing. He killed a bunch of people. A bunch of his friends died. Everything's fucked. He's now at his lowest point, right? You're there with the character. So I don't feel like there's any scenario where you're coming back to a session and with that setup and everyone's like jonesing to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that just makes sense to me that they're a little like, that the energy's lower almost by necessity.
It is. And you're not wrong. And I sort of acknowledge that. I even put it like later on in my notes, like I'm aware that this thing happens, right? The emotional roller coaster, we were on the high, now we're at the low. But yeah, the thing that worries me is, the post-arc slump, as I'm calling it. The thing that worries me is that the last time this happened, it took a while.
Forever.
Yeah, to get that going again. And for a really long time, even after things started to pick up, it didn't feel the same. I didn't feel, and like, I could be 100% misreading this and just thinking way too far into it because I had, have paranoia and that's what happens. But